Hello, good people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with myself and Smitty. And we'll be here with you guys for a quick moment, just chopping it up, man. Only a couple topics tonight. I'm just waiting to see if anyone appears. Looks like we have two viewers right now. So we know we're live. So, anyway, man, welcome, guys. We're going to give you two main topics tonight. We want to talk a little bit about ESBC. No, I didn't attend the event. No, Smitty didn't attend the event, but we're going to give our thoughts based off of some of the people who did, watching their videos, and kind of give our assessment of what we think they saw and what this game could mean to the gaming community as far as sports games. And then we're going to end it with the Madden 23 leaks. Y'all know we got to talk about that. I already did a video independently. You guys may have saw it. I didn't even realize that it was that long. It was 20-something minutes. But we're going to dive into it. It's always best to dive into it with someone else, but not just someone else. I mean, Smitty. Y'all know me and Smitty been dealing with Madden for so long, so we bounce off of each other when it comes to those type of things. And I even said in that video, Smitty probably would know exactly which Madden had tackle battles because I said it. I said, y'all know Smitty's the historian. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, Smitty, anything else you want to dive into really quick, I guess, off script before we jump into those two topics?
Yeah, look.
Hold on. Somebody said,
what?
Somebody said the link on Twitter is to Terrible Child Tuesday. How did I do that? My bad. Appreciate that, Y Diggy. Let me delete that. But yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Smitty.
Oh no, you're good, man. No, it's cool. Once again, this is like what year is this? This is the second year of the NBA having a play-in tournament.
Yeah.
And hey,
oh yeah, I gotta ask you about that.
Definitely,
How you feel about them?
I'm gonna talk about that in just a second, though. But I mean, it still did go as expected. Like I expected the Nets to win, and they did. I expected, I mean, I did kind of expect the Hawks to beat the Hornets.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, that would have been a fun match, but I don't think. I mean, I think the Hornets would get just straight ran out the building if they got in the playoffs through that. If they beat the Hawks, but I mean, but no, who else was it that played New Orleans?
Well,
New
I got to
Orleans
get
beat,
your thoughts
New
on
Orleans beat
Patrick
the
Beverly.
whatchamacallits. They beat the what's their faces? They beat the Spurs last night, but the main game, and what's crazy is it's crazy to see Zion do that 360 dunk that he did. And it's like, wasn't it like 2 weeks ago they showing him the clip, throwing it off the backboard or whatever, throwing it in and all that. It's like, dude looks, I mean, he looks good.
He still look rather beefy though.
I mean, but he already looked beefy.
But he is a big boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like he already is. So the thing is, if he can get, like, I mean, we're seeing him basically warm up, geared up, or something like that. We're not seeing him just, straight up in just uniform and seeing him play. So we can't really tell to the fullest how he bodily looks. But if he's doing all that and he's supposedly, he's still ailing that injury and he's cranking like that, he need to be, good to go for some games. Like, I think that's pretty crazy that they won't put him out there to play. But no, the key game, okay, Minnesota beating the Clips. Now look, I'll get it.
Paul George was hooping.
Paul George was hooping.
Yeah,
he was, and that sucks that him and Kawhi, It's like that move right now is looking worse and worse and worse. Yeah. Like for everything. And now you want to talk. You think LA? You think the Lakers leverage some stuff? These dudes leveraged all their future. I mean, they gave up all kinds of future capital to make that Paul George, Kawhi Leonard situation happen. And those dudes have not really been there to gel and lead that team. They have not came through, especially this season.
Have they played more than 40, 50 games together since they've been there?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's not good.
Yeah. But to see Minnesota win was cool. Yeah, they did overblow it. Way overblew it. They acted like they won the chip. You know what I'm saying? Beating them. But I get Patrick Beverley's. And the reason why I get it, I watched Sports Center. I think he was on, what was he on? Was he on First Take, I think, or something like that? And they spoke to him. And my man had the Versace robe on and everything. And he was like, he's like, look, the thing is, I can understand where he's coming from. Because
I get it. Yeah.
You got traded, first of all. You ain't going to pay me, you're going to trade me. They trade him to Memphis. He gets segued from Memphis straight to Minnesota. And it's like, yo, we going to get this team in the playoffs, etc. Minnesota ain't been in the playoffs. I think they said 18 years, 18 years since they last made the playoffs.
Like twice in the last 18 years or something like that.
So for you to have that chance to do it, and then to see you come through the way you did, because nobody really expected y'all. And y'all did it, I can understand why he got so amped up. He was crying and all that stuff and everything. And I get it. I feel, and to be quite honest, I feel that even though Cat laid a big old egg, and he can't do that. You had a 60 point, and listen, I understand. I
hate when he cries, man. I just hate this every time.
I get it. Like, yeah.
Like, come on, Cat, man.
You didn't had a 60-point game during the season this year and everything. But it's like, bro, you have to. You cannot be in this game here in this kind of situation and lay an egg. Nah. Like, you gotta come through as a leader on that team. I mean, D'Angelo Russell came through in a major way. Anthony Edwards came through in a major way. Pat Bev with his stellar defense.
He's an irritant, man.
Yeah, man.
He
was clutch.
Not on the same degree because of rebound and all that. There's no comparison. But he's the modern day Dennis Rodman, dog. Yeah. Like, he gets under people, like, and it's not just that he gets under their skin and he's an irritant. He actually performs. Same way Rodman did. Rodman was gonna go out there and put down lockdown defense on you. And Pat Bev, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's like the best way. Like, poor man,
he can't score like GP, but man, he's an irritant, and man, you got to give him his credit for that.
Oh yeah,
got to.
So
because that presence, I can imagine. Even it's funny you hear I was about to say Paul Pierce, Paul George. You hear what Paul George said after the game.
Yeah,
like you feed off of that. He was like, hey, I miss when he was with us. Mm-hmm. It has to make everyone else juiced up, like jacked up, seeing your man doing that. So give him his credit, man. Maybe a little over celebration, but give him his credit.
Overkill. It was overkill, but I still understand from his personal perspective. I get it.
Yeah, no
but
question.
Then as the team, I mean, I missed the stuff on NBA on TNT. They said they played one shining moment. He's so
Shaq and Charles was bugging.
They was clowning.
They was like, Charles said, "Come on, man. Man. You ain't even." He said, "Well, I guess you are in, but come on, man.
Yeah,
y'all ain't win no championship."
Yeah.
cat kissing his lady on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh my, they was going crazy. I get it, I guess, you know.
Right. Like, but see, this is the thing. But you know what? But this is the thing, though. With Minnesota, it's always that discussion when we talk basketball. It's like, how come those guys can't win? Because they've had talent. You had Andrew Wiggins there. You had Zach LaVine there with Cat at the same time. You even had Kevin Love there with Ricky Rubio at the time, and I forgot the other guy. They had another overseas cat, but he was doing good. So it's like they've had like 2 to 3 younger guys that would all click up, and they're a decent team, but it's like they can never get to the playoffs or can never put it all together. And it's like it's just amazing to see them finally. Like, I mean, it took the playing game, but still, the point of the matter is they actually are making the playoffs finally. And they have a decent team. I just think that they just need better coaching, I believe. I mean, I don't watch them like that. But I mean, I believe if they had better coaching, more structure to their team, they would be a solid team because they have the talent. Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
They get those high picks and draft somebody that pans out. So it's like, how come it's not working? But yeah, that was funny though. That was funny, for sure. So,
I got to give credit to D'Angelo Russell, man. I was joking on Twitter when I said I kind of mean it, but I was like, am I wrong for not liking this dude for the way he did Swaggy P?
Oh,
it's just a principle thing. Like, man, I would never let him forget that moment. He didn't tell on that man, like, but nah, my man, he came in clutch, man. You know, because I don't watch Minnesota. Obviously, they're not on TV that much,
right?
But yeah, the people say he been doing that. You know, he firing it up like that. You know, because I remember seeing him, of course, with the Lakers and all that, and I just hadn't followed his career. But I got to give him his credit, man. He showed up. He showed up.
Yeah. So they play Memphis now. So
they play Memphis.
I mean,
now I want to see Pat Bev against Ja Morant.
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Yeah, that's going to be tough. But I think they're better suited to play them than it would have been the Clippers. You know, like, because they don't have they have their full team dynamic with Minnesota. The Clippers, they're missing PG. I mean, not Paul George. They're missing Kawhi. So it's like that's a decent chunk of their dynamic that's not present. So I'm like, nah, I'd rather it not be them. You know, if they came in full strength, then that'd be a different story. I would definitely say I want to see the Clippers because then
put see Kawhi. What happens tonight. Clippers might still sneak in there.
What do you mean?
Don't they got to play tonight, right?
No, they done.
Nah. Don't the Clippers or somebody got to play New Orleans on one of those? Or is it all the way done now?
No, I think. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Because they said that they still have the Spurs. They have a chance to play the winner of the Spurs and somebody.
Oh, they play the Pelicans.
Yeah. So if they beat them, they'll get in. And I think on the East is the Hawks and Clippers or one
Hawks
of them
and
teams.
Cavs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, that's I said Clippers. Hawks and Cavs. Yeah.
And the Pelicans and Clippers play. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All so right. There's still a chance for them to get in there. So
okay. All right.
We shall see. We shall see.
Yep. All right.
We're going to try to move along really quick here, guys. You know, I mentioned to Smitty earlier, and I told you guys last week, got to, try to end the show a little sooner than later. Got some things I got to get into tonight. So we got about 45 minutes, and I think we can knock out all the topics in that time. But one off topic that we got to address really quick, because we said we would do it last week, and I saw somebody in the chat reminded us. Will Smith, man. Listen, I'm going to be brief, and maybe we can dive into it at a later date. First of all, he's human.
Hey, how about this? We do Will Smith, do the Madden next week. ESBC.
Okay, we can do that.
We'll just do
so
that.
Let me switch up the title on them real quick.
Yeah,
so people don't be expecting.
Right. Yeah. So we'll just do it that way, and we'll,
Will Smith situation. That's what we're gonna call it. The situation.
Yeah.
All right, man. So as I'm typing this, guys, this is my thoughts on it. And I mean, it can go in so many directions. So I'm gonna try to get my 2 cents in, man, and then Smitty will get his. And it won't let me change the title. I'll be able to do it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Won't let me change it in here. So it's like this. First of all, let me say this. Will Smith is a human being, right? We all make mistakes. We don't all have to agree with each other. And, you might say, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done that. He did this. I'm going to give him at least that respect. He's a human. Perhaps he made a mistake, and it is what it is. But if I just want to analyze the situation, I got so many thoughts about it. First thought that comes to mind is, I'm not mad that he did what he did. As a man, let's say I understand the sentiment. That's it. Just the sentiment. I feel like you talking greasy about my lady. Not even just my lady, my wife. I feel like you're talking greasy about my wife. I'm going to protect my wife to the end, regardless. That's me. I'm protecting her to the end. Say something crazy if you want to, and you're going to have to deal with that. I'm just talking about the root. I'm not talking about their status, stature. No, I'm just talking about the root of it. I get it. Let's address the other elephant in the room. So many people saying, well, why he didn't do August like that? Here's my opinion on that. The difference in these two situations is it's been said that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett have an open relationship. It's been assumed that both of them have slept with people outside of the marriage, right? We also know that at that point, them two was separated. So I could kind of understand why he don't approach the young boy like that. He probably was a little more hurt than anything, but you got to understand that Jada invited that situation. It's a little different. Now, I know people say, well, man, but he knew it. I get it. August is wrong too, because I'm going to tell you right now, this dude put out another, August, stop that, man. That's sucker stuff. Like, he put out another record talking about the entanglement. Like, that's sucker stuff. Like, because if you was really about that life, you would have came out and said your piece before it was said. So come on, stop doing that. Stop like that. To me, that's what the young kids say. That's clout chasing right there. Come on, man. But I don't like that it happened, how it happened. I don't care that it was the Oscars, right? And I don't care what stage it was on and all of that, because if you feel something in your heart, you're going to get it off. But at the same time, you gotta recognize where you are. It ain't so much so that it was at the Oscars. It's on national television in front of the world. Like, you can't make that kind of mistake, meaning it's assault. Let's call it what it is. Now, where I give Chris Rock all the respect in the world and a tip to the hat, he ain't pressed no charges. That's real man stuff too, in a way. Well, I'm not even going to say real man stuff, because a real man can press charges. Don't get that twisted. That's some code of the street type thing that Chris Rock was like, nah, I'm good. No, we ain't doing that. I don't want you to drag him out. None of that. I tip my cap. That is honor. That's respectful. And even the way Chris Rock handled the whole thing was really amazing. Because what would most of y'all have done? I'll probably imagine I might have swung back. Like, we might have been up there rumbling on the Oscar stage. You're not gonna do that to me, and I don't respond. So I got to give credit to Chris Rock for the way he handled that. That was, man. But then I look at it like this too. Was it really the joke? Or was that an accumulation of pressure and people poking fun at you and all of that? And it all came to a head. Because they say that what Will Smith said out of his own mouth in his book, he basically said that, all his life he's felt like, weaker than or a chump or whatever you want to call it, because his father abused his mother and he never stepped in to protect her. So maybe he felt like this was his moment. But honestly, I feel like he lost his mind, Smitty, because it's like not at that moment. And I know if we're being honest, and I'm gonna say it because I'm not afraid to say it. The narrative out there, I'm gonna call it Black Twitter, right? The narrative in Black Twitter was like, man, how you gonna get up there on that white stage? And dog, listen. And I apologize for any of our viewers who are not Black. Y'all know what I'm saying. We know what country we live in. That was the narrative, right? How you gonna do that in front of? To me, I could care less about any of that. I don't care if it was at BET. Could have been the Soul Train Award. Could have been the Source Awards. None of that really matters to me because it don't matter where I'm at as far as who's watching. If I feel a way, I'm going to be me in front of any person. But on national television, at a place that this is where you work, that's your arena. You can't make that mistake. And I get it. I'm with everybody on the side of, nah, that's a real man. And I agree, it's a real look, man. He held his wife down. I get it. But I just wish he wouldn't have done it like that because it looks away. But I'll tell y'all this. It's something else. It's more to it than just that, man, because Will Smith ain't been nothing but mild-mannered professional his whole career. So, I hate to see how they tearing him down, Smitty, now. Like some of those people, some of them some of them people who had something to say about how they were so, I was traumatized and was so, man, shut up. Like now you piling on. Like I'm again, I don't know, it's just my opinion. Maybe I'm being insensitive about it, but because he slapped somebody. Come on, stop it. Like now you're adding on. And to me, that's kind of like poking at the bear. Mm-hmm. That's like if Smitty did something and then here I come. Yeah, because when Smitty did that, I was really come on, man. Like I ain't got to say none of that. I don't have to. I could feel that way and never tell the world.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I don't like what they're doing to him in that regard. Now, you did the crime. You got to do the time as far as his ban and all of that. But I just don't like how people are flipping like he's he's this evil person and all of that. And he's a real person. And he blew a gasket that night. But I'll finish with this. I understand where it came from. You could question if it was warranted based on him and Jada's relationship, because it seemed like he didn't really get triggered until he looked at her and she won't plan, and then I don't know what that was, but if she's dealing with alopecia, it is an offensive joke. But on the flip side, Chris Rock said, what his people are saying, or Will Packer and all of those folks are basically saying that he didn't write the joke. That's what the story is now. He didn't know about her alopecia. And I get the correlation of G.I. Jane, right? Even let's say he didn't know anything about that. If anybody knows the movie, Demi Moore with the bald head, and the bald head. A funny joke.
Yeah.
However, it is a sensitive joke because she has a condition where she has lost her hair. And let's not forget, a couple years back, when they were boycotting the Oscars, Chris Rock made the joke about, how you gonna boycott something you're not invited to. So he was joking on Jada Pinkett. So it was a cumulative, it was a cumulative effect of issues. But like I said, bottom line, I'm not mad at his sentiment of why he did it. I would have preferred to have heard that it happened at the after party or something like that. Like the news broke. Man, Will Smith snuffed, da 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 da. And there you have it. One last thing. The only thing I got to give Chris, I got to pick with Chris Rock on one area. You should have seen that coming. And let me explain why. No, you don't think you're about to get slapped at the Oscars by Will Smith. I get all of that. But if a man is walking up on you and not giving you any eye contact, a problem is about to happen. He didn't even look at him, folks. Go look at the clip. If you make any reference to a guy or joke or whatever, and this guy gets up and comes walking at you the way Will Smith did, like this, he's coming for business. That ain't gonna be no friendly altercation, because if it was, he's gonna be looking at you. So I'm like, yo, you needed to have recognized that. But again, I give him a pass. You're at the Oscars. You're not thinking.
Exactly.
You got disrespect too, Smitty. You open hand slap and you turn your back on me and fix your coat.
But see, the thing is though, I will say this. Chris Rock has conditions too. He's got certain health conditions. Yeah. I forgot they have mentioned it amongst all the chatter when, the incident happened. So it's like he got stuff going on with him too that he deals with. You know what I mean? And it's like, but yet he still is in the profession of being a comedian.
He's a comedian.
When you talk about people and you talk about people's, stuff that they publicly put out there and stuff like that. And I understand the comedian brethren all rallying behind him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, dude, Aries Spears talking about, man, I've had people threaten me, see me outside, all of that stuff. He's like,
comes with the territory.
You ain't doing your job right if they're not threatening you and stuff like that. Some people will attack. He's like, I've had stuff thrown at me, all of that stuff, all because I went after him. He's like, yeah, that he's doing the right thing. But Will, Builder's Life has been making all these points right here. The Tupac letters. Your daughter, Tupac letters, the Tupac. My man died in 96. You know what I'm saying? Yes, and you write these letters and stuff like that to Pac like that.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, man.
But see, beyond that, you planned, what was it? You planned a birthday party. What was that? 40, 50
something
birthday
crazy,
party, something like that or whatever. But you planned, it took you over 2 years. And you coordinated it, and she didn't like it. You got Mary J. Blige to come and perform or something like that, and she didn't like it at all. These are the reasons why. Look, and I like you said, I know you didn't say the status part. I know that, but what DL Hughley said was funny. It was like, you're like, you think Will and them living off of set it off residuals and Hawthorne?
Right.
You're like, that's Will. Will is all of that. Like, and see, that's the one thing about it. Jada Pinkett Smith, there ain't no Red Table Talk, all this, her name is toilet bowl water if it's not for Will. Let's just call it what it is. Her fellow peers that were hot when she was hot, nothing. There's nothing from any of those people at this point, whether they've done shows or not.
Yeah,
there's nothing from any of those people that she's on the grid like that. Like the last movie Jada was in was what was it?
Wasn't it the Tiffany Haddish one?
Now. Huh?
Was it the Tiffany Haddish one?
No, after
Girls
that's
Trip?
what I'm saying. No, not Girls Trip. What is it? London is Falling. One of
I
those
don't know.
movies.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's a
I have
movie.
no idea.
It's the joints with Gerard Butler where it's supposed to protect president and everything.
Oh, really?
Jada,
She in something like that?
Jada. See, that's the point. Her role was subtle in the movie.
Yeah.
Like she was in it, and it was like, oh, she's in it, and she got killed a little bit later on in the film. So it was like, oh, okay, well, she was in it, you know what I'm saying? But she wasn't no main character or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, those are the kind of roles that she really kind of gets. I mean, yeah, Girls Trip, and that's what I'm saying. Girls Trip before that. And that's it. So the stuff with August, I mean, yeah, open relationship and all that stuff. But you know,
that was grimy.
The thing is, Will has triggers that she be setting off. Like she'll straight up go on Instagram, go live, speaking on the videos and everything like that. And Will straight up was like, "Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you just don't put me on camera without getting my consent."
I saw
like
that recently. Yeah,
why are you just going live though without asking me? You know what I mean? And it's just like there's stuff that goes on in there. Who knows what kind of discussion they could have had going to the award show. And then it just so happens Chris does what he does. She has the reaction she has that could have been from something that stemmed earlier that day.
Yeah.
On top of all the stuff y'all saying in the chat here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, now I'm about to do something.
Yeah.
She's put me on blast publicly all these ways. How I am performing in the bedroom, what I'm doing for her birthday, Willow putting out stuff about Pac and all, you know what I mean? Just all this stuff being aired out.
Whoa. Wait a minute. I missed something.
What?
Willow put out stuff about Pac?
Yeah, she wrote the letter.
The daughter.
Yeah, the daughter. Yeah, that wasn't Jada.
My daughter.
That was the daughter. Yeah.
Wrote about oh Lord. Yeah. Oh Lord. Whoa.
Yeah, that was Willow that did that.
Whoa. What has my wife been telling my daughter about this guy I used to know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying.
Okay. Wow. Yikes.
Oh, she's in the new Matrix too. Oh, but see that's my point. You don't know. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. My bad.
I didn't know
Motown
that.
Correct. See, and yeah, Angel Has Fallen. That was the movie. Angel Has Fallen. That was the one she was in. But see, that's the point. I didn't know. You see what I mean? She ain't getting these roles without Will. That's the majority of it. I mean, that's the majority of that. But the whole point, let's just go. All of that rolls into Will. With Will getting mad and going up there and smacking. Listen, him taking that action was horrible.
Horrible, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I get the principle, bravado, manhood, all that stuff and everything. I get it, but at the same time, Chris Rock handled it the right way. Chris Rock very well could have pressed charges.
Sure,
he could have, and if somebody gonna say, "Man, you a punk for that," that ain't no punk move. The punk move was Will went on stage.
Mm-hmm. Chris Rock was the G of the situation.
Think about it. You sitting in a room with your peers, legends, living legends, and think about it. This is, like you said before, the black and white thing. That's the hugest factor on Will's part. He should really look at. And you gonna go out there and do that? Think about what think if you had Sidney Poitier sitting out there and he was still alive and he was there and you did some junk like that.
Man, Denzel in attendance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Zell, he in the front row.
God,
he Will. And you gonna roll up and do that, and it's like in between commercial, they gonna come over to Will and all that. Like, no, man, you can't do that. And then you gonna go up there after you smack the guy. You're gonna go up there giving a speech talking about you gotta protect. What the heck you protecting?
The man apologized to everybody but Chris.
Everyone but Chris. Chris apologized to Amy Schumer and all these other people. Man, listen. Look,
Amy Schumer, man, she needs to go somewhere.
Understand this. What was it? Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, I forgot, Wanda Sykes or whoever else. They all had a hand in putting together the award show. So they were doing a lot of work in the background on the show. That's why Chris Rock apologized to them. Now, as far as Amy's still going on and on and on and on, now that's some other junk. But the point is that, you know, Chris held it down the way he should have. I mean, he played that smooth off after he did all that talking, and he was like, we're here, you know, to give an award for and see, understand, if you heard what Chris was saying, he was like, man, I could, but it was like,
he was about to go there.
He was going to go. He was like, I'm going to unload. He was like, man, skip the teleprompter. I'm going to unload the cannon on this guy. But he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it be. That's what these people do. Chris Rock is a comedian. When he saw Will come up and do that and said all that he said, he like, oh, I could go full. You lucky this ain't a comedy show. Like, if that was the case and he did that, oh, he flames him out.
Yeah.
No question. Will would have got burnt. But because it's the Oscars, he's just like, you know what?
Can't do that on that stage. I gotta remember
where we at. Yeah, exactly. I gotta remember where we at. That's cool. Will got out of it, but I can't get out of it. I understand why Will did that because of where they're at. Like, just think about that. Look where you're at, and you did this. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it costs him to a degree. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's all true about him losing all these roles and productions being halted and everything. I don't know if that stuff is confirmed to be true, because they said there was like Netflix movies that were stopped. Bad Boys 4, they stopped the production, all of that stuff because of what he did. I don't know if that's true or not. If that is true, yeah, he jacked up then, if that's the truth. So, but I mean, see, that's the whole thing. That's the one thing about time. Being a quote unquote man about stuff will mess around and cost you. You know, at the same time, they'll give you your credit, but at the same time, it can mess around and cost you too. That's a perfect situation where it costs you, because he shouldn't have did that. Now,
can't do that, man.
If he saw him, like you said, the after party, maybe after the show, go in the back, or even better, the best way you could have did it is when you go up and get your award. You know, my wife suffered from alopecia, so, you know, just let it be known, Chris, blase, blah, whoop, whoop. I'm here to protect people. Excuse me, God told me that, so I got to protect my wife. So I'm just letting y'all know, you know, I did laugh a little bit, but at the same time, I felt a certain way about what Rock had to say about boom, boom, boom. Like, that would have.
Yo, if he does that, he goes up there and says, let it be known, I'm not tolerating no disrespect about my wife. She has alopecia. Yes. We would have been looking at him like, oh, man, that's what's up.
Yeah, you ethered it. Whole situation's ethered. You look great. You won your first Oscar on top of it. And you look great, and you defended your wife, and at the same time, you just smashed Chris Rock with that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you could have very well done it all in one fell swoop, and then he got to come out there and look silly. to a degree because he like, oh, dang. I mean, he didn't know about that, but at the same time, it lets all the air out of that joke. So, and you did it in a much more graceful and respectful way that makes you look amazing out of all of it instead of doing it that way. So that,
Slap that man
that's it.
on national television.
On national and all that, and see, ultimately, all that action does, it's another add that to the column of the Will Smith demises, which a lot of them are coming from his wife airing them out. But on top of that, you got this that is self-inflicted by you. Now, I mean, ultimately, you took the action, so it's going to be on you. But you can also say that Jada was an influence to him taking that kind of action because of the actions that she's taking with the red table talk, the videos, the postings, all that stuff at the time. So it's like, but yeah, that was a wild situation, man. I'll say that it was very wild. It caught me off guard. I mean, I usually don't watch the award shows anyway, but it really
I won't even watch it.
Looking at the timeline and just seeing Will Smith is trending, and I'm seeing friends and stuff tweeting and stuff like, yo, the Oscar awards just got gutta and all that. I'm like, what do you mean the Oscars? I'm like, what? And then you've seen the clip come out, like, wow. But yeah, that situation, yeah.
You know what else stood out? Mm-hmm. My wife wouldn't allow me to do that. My wife would have, what you would have probably caught in the camera is her running after me and because she knows me, right? So she would have known, you can't do this here. And after the fact, Jada's laughing and everything, and that struck me. After I saw it a few times, I was like, So Jada, who isn't the one who got up to slap, you don't see the ramifications that this might cause? Like, it's almost like, haha. I feel like a woman that is really with you would have been like, you can't do this. Like, we can't do this here. But right. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at that a little too deep. But yeah, I don't think my wife would have allowed me to do that. I think she would have been running after me to hold me back or something, because she knows this ain't the moment. That we can't have this happen on television. But I don't know, man. Very strange, guys. Very strange.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the next topic, guys. See if we can chop this thing up for the next 17 minutes or so. Madden 23. Yeah. Listen. All I'm going to do is read this stuff high level and do a very short version of what I did in my video, because I definitely want to get Smitty's take. Me and Smitty haven't talked about this. Hit everything. I'm just going to point out the things in the article that stand out to me. It says, we will see the game take a step back from animation-driven gameplay. Okay. That, you know what? Why don't I show you guys? Hold on, y'all. Why don't I put it on screen? Give me a second. Shout outs to Sports Gamers Online. So as it says here, folks, right here, according to EA Sports, we will see the game take a step back from animation-driven gameplay. That sounds great. However, y'all know what I'm going to say. I need to see this to believe it. I need to see how this works. I need to see what else this affects. Because the one thing that kind of threw me for a loop was down here where it says, well, let me read this part. Organic and consistent tackling results when trying to hit players around the field. That's still cool. But this little part right here has me puzzled. Players will use the hit stick to trigger physics-driven animations that reward who you are as a tackler and how much impact you brought to the pile. What does that mean? Use the hit stick to trigger these physics-driven animations? That has me questioning just how far hit everything goes. Will we see any effects of this in the trenches? Will we see any effects of this with DB and wideout interactions? I would imagine it's going to create more organic physics moments, knockouts, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to Madden, guys, you got to be very careful with how things are worded. It says you have to use the hit stick to trigger these animations. So are you telling me if I use the square on PlayStation, which is supposed to be just a big tackle, or even a conservative tackle, these these physics-driven animations, are they unable to play out in that scenario? Good question. The next one I'm not going to spend any time with, tackle battles. We've seen this before. I'll go on record and say this. It's not that much of a bad idea. We saw how it was implemented in Madden. If you want to say it's similar to, and shout outs to 2K Football Now. I saw him put up a clip on Twitter saying they're taken from 2K's. And I'm like, I don't know if it's quite like that. The tap, tap, tap. Because this is more, again, if you don't remember seeing this in previous Maddens, it's you and the tackler come together. Y'all hit the buttons, and I guess whoever hits the right combination first or whatever, you might break the tackle or secure the tackle. My biggest question is, Smitty, is how is it going to play out? Are the animations connected to this thing going to be organic as far as are they believable? And does it look cheesy? And does it feel cheesy? That's going to be my takeaway. In theory, I don't have a problem with the tackle battle because if we think about the real world, if one-on-one, these dudes are fighting, either I'm going to break your tackle, stiff arm you, or whatever. But if I remember how it was in the past, I didn't like the way it looked because it was kind of like whoop, tackle sequence and then pop loose. It just didn't look clean. If they have found a way to make it seamless and make sense, okay, but we'll see. And then last but not least, and then I'll throw it to Smitty, skill-based passing. This intrigues me when I get down here. The precision pass, ellipse. Is that word ellipse or ellipse? I heard people say it two different ways. I don't know. But y'all know what it says.
It's
precision,
ellipse.
Ellipse, thank you.
Yeah.
Pass, precision, ellipse with the reticle. Me personally, just from reading this, and I won't go into all of these options. I'll let you guys read it for yourself. It's on sportsgamersonline.com. To me, Smitty, the best option sounds like that because it's mimicking kind of, from what I get from it, it's kind of like Vision Cone. And I think this is going to be the way I go. And I will read to you guys why. It says, when this is on, it displays a gray target area indicating the area of the field the receivers are able to reach the ball. You can steer the placement of the ball by moving the reticle within the target area using the left stick. That sounds like target passing. That does not sound like, it sounds like Vision Cone. Doesn't sound like target passing. This sounds more like Vision Cone. Now, how about this one? The free form reticle. Holding RT while passing the ball unleashes free form precision passing. This allows you to place the ball anywhere inside or outside the gray target area. This extra level of control is intended to be a high risk and reward. With the free form reticle, you can place the ball anywhere you like, but your receiver may not be able to get the ball. First person I thought about when I read this article was Smitty. Smitty always says, I want to be able to place the ball. I want to throw an inaccurate pass on purpose if I have to. I want to put it in a spot where only my guy can catch it. That option sounds like you'll be able to do that. Number one question I had before I throw it to Smitty. What about animations? Are guys going to be able to warp to the spot to make the catch? CPU or user controlled? If the ball is over here and I click on, am I going to be able to zip over to get it? We don't want that. All of this, that passing mechanic, I'm not going to front. Y'all know Smitty and I say we'll give credit where credit is due. That right there, if they pull it off, because it almost sounds like revised vision cone with a little sprinkle of what they were trying to do with target passing. If you've mastered that where it's more seamless, like the vision cone, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. But it's going to come down to how these guys animate. I don't want to be able to put it way out of reach and I can click on and I get a speed warp over to the ball, or the defender is able to do that. So if you're telling me that they're not going to be doing that, it's seamless. If you're telling me that positioning, relative positioning is going to matter with this, or how about another thing I'm going to borrow from Smitty that he says all the time? If you're telling me now that the ball is untethered to the route, I love it. We got to see it. That's it. And nothing else really for me to say. We have to see it. And we'll be the judge of it when we have a chance to see it. So all in all, these features sound cool. We don't know what else the game has to offer. This is leak stuff. I guess I could say this. I don't think this is breaking any rule, anything. I'm not under NDA. You know, again, I just have people that I can talk to. You know, I was able to confirm that the information came from an event. I think there was some type of play test.
Yeah, they said that publicly.
Yeah, so these are legit features.
Unfortunately, they said publicly. So.
Yeah, that sucks. And to me, let me just say that really quick, Smitty. Again, man, y'all know I use that word a lot, but that's sucker stuff too, man. Like, no disrespect. And if you're someone who does that, I'm not really calling you a sucker. I'm just saying it's a sucker move. Like I never understand the leaking of information. I don't get that. Now, it's cool if you hear about something like we all did and make a video, but for me to be the one who somebody's entrusted me and then I leak that, like I don't understand that. To me, that's corny. Because again, I'm a man of integrity. So Smitty invites me to something and he look, man, it's just between us. Da, 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 and then I get back and I post all the stuff he told me about. I just don't like that. I don't like that. And you know, selfishly, at one time, me and Smitty, I will say it. I won't speak for Smitty, but I would say it selfishly. I didn't like that when me and Smitty was actually going down to EA, because then stuff like that causes those things not to happen anymore. And it was cool when we were able to get the information and could sit here and tell you guys how EA works, how the game works and all that, because we know.
Right.
But if they start shutting that stuff down, you ain't going to have nobody to give you that information. And what does it get you? Some views? Like that's corny, man. But anyway, what are your thoughts on it, Smitty?
All right. Well, my thoughts on it. The first thing I just want to say is that's why folk got to be mindful of that, because them shutting down a play test, and what's one of the main things people gripe about in the community is, man, nobody plays it. They don't get people to play it. Man, I can play test it and blah, 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 blah. But see, the problem is they shut down. This was mid-event, and they shut it all down because this got leaked out. See what I'm saying? So when you do stuff like this is stuff that can ruin future ones. So because you need the public to test these things. And the other thing too is, Sim and I both, Sim knows this too. They could still pull stuff out. Now I don't think they will at this point, but they can pull features out that what you would think would be there. Like Sim talked about certain mechanics when he went to an event that didn't make it into a game. There was a CPU AI mechanic they were gonna do in, what was it, Madden 25, I think, on 360 and PS3. They're supposed to have a CPU AI element where the running back plays kind of like a user would. And we got to play it and fully experience it, and it felt real good, but it wasn't part of the final game. They gutted it out. So what I'm saying is, I don't think they're going to do that here. What I'm saying is that you never know. They can mess around and take, like, they could take half of these passing controls out. You see what I'm saying? And say, yeah, we did something innovative, but it ain't what y'all thought. And then they're gonna spin it. They'll spin a different story, of course. They're not gonna say, "Well, y'all leaked it, and that's why." But we'll know. We'll have like them leaking it and not being able to get the information on it could play a key role as to why they end up gutting it, because they're like, "Well, we only had a little bit to go by because we ended it, so we just went by consensus in the studio and did this." So that's why folk need to chill with all that stuff, man. Like y'all, itching and scratching like a fiend to let stuff loose for people. No, just wait until the right time comes. It's gonna come out. Madden 23 is gonna drop regardless, whether you go to an event, play the game early or not. We're all gonna see what happens with the game. That's it. Whether good, bad, happy, sad. So, but going from there, the physics part. Okay, what I will say about the physics and them adding that in, okay? Physics driven animations. All right, reward who you are as a tackler and how much impact you bring to the pile. See, what that makes it sound like to me is like hit stick is not gonna necessarily be the end all be all stop.
I hope not.
So if I got Mike Allstott, you see what I'm saying, and you got, I don't know, whoever the heck, I'll just say you're playing Ultimate Team and I got Darius Slay. You throw a hit stick tackle, physics kicks in. My momentum, size, strength, speed, etc., versus your momentum, size, strength, speed, tackling rating, etc.
Yeah.
And it really is a positional based thing. So if you don't go low, and I don't know if they'll have a modifier in the game or not, or if it'll just be an AI based thing, like what Backbreaker did. And if you get hit and you're upright, or if you go for it too late and you don't get to break down in time, and I'm coming through, boom, I'm steamrolling you over. That's what's up.
Love it.
Because
if that's the case,
because that's just the way that's how it sounds. We took a step back from how we used to do things, and now we're going for a more organically consistent type of result-driven system where when it comes to hitting players around the field, using the hit stick triggers animations as a tackler when you impact a pile. You see what I'm saying? It makes it sound like it's a situational thing, not flick the stick and guaranteed boom, 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 like how it's always been. Okay, now.
Yeah, because it says it takes who the tackler is into account.
Exactly. So that could be something. Gotta see. Tackle battles. I love this because they went back to the way they originally did it back in Madden 07. This is the way tackle battle should be. I didn't necessarily like what they did in, what was that, Madden 17, I think?
I think it was 17, I think.
Yeah, where you press a different button, if this person presses that button.
It wasn't in a Frostbite edition, and I think one Madden.
Yeah, no, it was 17.
18 was Frostbite, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I love this because that's what it was back on PlayStation, and I love that. It happens, the prompt comes up, you got to mash the button, and it was like the way the animation would develop, it would show you either winning or losing that battle with the animation. And like what Sim's saying is right. Will it be some kind of static thing? What it could be is some kind of hybrid animation, i.e., NHL, how NHL does it when you're fighting against the boards for the puck. It's not an organic animation that's between you two. It's more of a static interaction animation wise, but you can say, hey, I'm trying to pass it to the left. They're trying to take it away from you and go a different direction. And, and then it depends upon where the puck is at. So I do love that. But see, the key thing that I like about this here is you mash the button to break the tackle. But what I also love about this, and this is why I say I love it, the ball carrier will be more susceptible to fumbles.
Risk reward.
Depending on various attributes. So not just ratings, but players will be, see, this is why I'm scared about this, Sim, because I already see title updates and nerfs coming miles and miles away.
Who are you
already?
Reduce the chance of a fumble and strip while in tackle battle. Why y'all do that?
Already. Look at it. Players, look. Players will be required to use various mechanics like protecting the ball and give up to avoid various hit stick and strip attempts from defenders. Now, I remember in Madden 17 when people were getting strip fumbled and all kinds of fumbleitis was happening with folk online that weren't using protect the ball and were whining and complaining to Rex because they was fumbling all the time. Man, my QB, I didn't have 6 fumbles. Were you protecting the ball? Did you give up and surrender instead of trying to run through everybody? Oh, no, you didn't? Yeah, that's why you fumbled. What happened? Title update. Fix it. So, see, this is what I'm saying. If they actually are going to make the game play where you actually have to be mindful of what you're doing and make you use the controls, good stuff. But hold true to it, which we all know EA does not have that reputation of being able, the devs aren't able to hold true to anything they put in here, which sucks. So going into this passing, all right, look, I'll be relatively quick because I know we got to get going here. So I'll be relatively quick with it. Okay. The passing, I like the accuracy and the strength meters. Along with the ellipse. See, what I think they did here was they gave you what they tried to do in Madden 18, which I like it, but I don't want to. My player rating should still factor in, even if I use the freeform reticle, because this makes me think to a degree. Now, really, with the accuracy and strength meters, that makes me think of NFL Fever 04 with read and lead, because there were multiple steps to it. You had your primary receiver chosen at snap. That's the main guy you're fixated on. Now, based upon your player's ratings, you can move the reticle where you want. You can move it to the far left, far right, way ahead, etc. If it's in the vicinity, you still got, and you got to hold the trigger, then move the analog stick to where you want the ball to be thrown at, and hit the button. So it's like multiple step process, but you got to learn how to do it. So there is a learning curve to it. And I like these options. Having the gray circle with the reticle in it, you can control within the reticle. I like that as well. Excuse me. Tighter circles for not as good players, bigger circles for better players, and then you can move that reticle around. That would be nice. As well. And then I like the speed slider. I love these options, being able to cut stuff on and off, putting the speed there so that way people can adapt. They can adapt to that before heading online, even though a lot of people don't take that advice. But you have that option so you can play games, at a speed you're comfortable with, and you can comfortably play, get acclimated, even if it takes you the whole year and you're just playing the whole year with the thing on. Still, you have that option. I like that speed slider, the slowdown effect. I mean, that's what I meant. I like that. You know, that helps people get used to it though.
I feel like, well, you know what?
It shouldn't be used for online play.
There you go.
Yeah. But for offline though, you could do that. Now,
because I don't want it to be like what was the name of that vision in NCAA? You know, you can go into slow down mode.
Oh yeah, I forgot what that's.
I don't want it to be something like that. But you make a good point though. If it's offline,
if it's offline, or if you're playing, I don't think EA would do this though. But if EA had lobbies specifically for this, the slowdown effect, this lobby got 25, other 50, 75, 100. All right, yeah, go ahead and play in them lobbies then, because you know you're getting yourself into that. Otherwise, when you online, if you don't want to if you're getting smacked around, learn how to play it in practice, play offline games, etc., and then go online. But overall, wait and see. Obviously,
wait and see. Yeah,
I do like the passing mechanics on paper. The hit everything, the tackle battles. It can be something very beautiful if this gameplay is really going to be organic. I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
We have no idea. We'll find out soon enough. But I like when I saw Sim's video and everything, I'm like, yeah, this is some good stuff. I mean, I saw it before he did the video. I've read the article and everything, but I'm just like, I really want to see how this game is going to move. I want to see them break this down visually and like tell us about it. You know, when Hollywood does this interview with Clint, like I definitely want to hear.
Can't wait for that.
What's going to be said on that, you know, as well, because I want to hear him get into it. Heck, I ain't even going front. If we could possibly get a chance to talk to Clint as well, we'll definitely have him come on and be like, hey, yo, look, you know what I'm saying? like, because I ain't even going front. I probably would want to ask him, because once we see this and read the articles and we see more of what it's about because we're gonna have to see some videos and some stuff breaking it down. Like that's really gonna be like, hey, yo, man, look, we got to have a chat, you know, and we really got to dissect this and really have a discussion and really make sure we got an understanding on this, because this right here sounds a lot like I sent a lot of feedback videos to these guys over the years about these kind of things happening. So it's like, see, because I sent them a ton of backbreaker video clips, and it's like this stuff right here. This stuff sounds a lot like it, because this is stuff I said like when they had Madden 13 even. And I'm like, dude, what about when dudes engage this animation and another dude organically comes in? Can he organically try to strip and reach the ball out and all that stuff? Like, what if a guy tries to stiff arm while he's got this guy here and that guy there? Does it leave him open to get hit? That's why I'm intrigued by this hit everything, because it kind of sounds like that. That's how
I knew it was true. Like somebody asked me that on Twitter. They was like, "Do you believe it leaks?" I was like, "Honestly, yeah." And he was like, "Why?" I said, "Well, without saying too much, it's information and feedback that we've given collectively, and it's stuff that I've heard talked about down there. I've been knew that passing thing was coming back at some point, because this was stuff that was discussed the last time I was down there a couple years ago. So as soon as I saw that, I said, "Oh yeah, it's true. Those leaks are true." I knew as soon as they took target passing out, I was already in conversation with devs. Like, all right, this is how y'all gonna have to do it the next time.
Oh yeah,
I was hoping they was gonna come right back with it.
Right,
but
and the one other thing I want to say real quick off of what you said, Sim, them having the ellipse could finally. Possibly that could finally be the opening of that 400 plus animations, the catch animations. Because remember, we was in the studio together when I asked about that, and they said they don't have a system set up where they can account for a catch here. It's only certain points that they can account for. So with this system, and we got to see, we don't even know how wideout DB interactions are even going to be at all.
Nope.
That is going to be super crucial on this system. And once again, you're talking about stuff being organic. So that's why we got to see how all of. Does this organic stuff only mean tackling only? Does this mean the trenches? Does this mean wide out DB interaction play? Does this, you see what I'm saying? So how far does this spread? Because remember, guys, it all started with Madden 13. The physics affected area was literally an area around the ball carrier. That was in Madden 13, and it was like that for a long time. What that's, and then it's like they expanded it to a degree furthermore, but then it looked more like an animated system and it looked less organic. Now, are they, like I said, they said they're supposedly pulling it back. So let's see. And is 2K the reason? You see what I'm saying? That's the other thing. We can't forget that variable. Is 2K the reason why we're getting this now? That they're rolling it back like this. They've been on cruise control with this gameplay for years. Now all of a sudden you doing this. Is 2K coming with something that's making y'all kind of get right to a degree? Hey, so we'll see.
The industry they know, man. They be knowing what each other are doing.
Oh yeah,
it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, no.
So yeah,
so we'll see. We will see, man.
We'll see, man. And the only last thing I'll say, man, is that I've seen a lot of comments. Some people are saying certain things isn't realistic. Some things are. Honestly, guys, for everything that we all think sim football is you can't replicate that in a video game.
Oh no.
There's so many factors. Like, shout out to my man Kool-Aid the Great. Like he says here, how am I going to control all that while I'm getting blitzed to death trying to run for my life online? He's right, but it's still football. See football. See that? Think about football concepts. If you're a QB and you step to the line and you look and it looks like the heat is coming, you may audible to a quick snap. You got your quick read. You already know who your target is. Guess what? Yep.
When you do that, same thing in NFL Fever. You already eliminated multiple steps. Oh, it looked like they bring in the heat. I'm gonna throw right here to my right here. Exactly. Yep. All I got to do is move the cursor, hold the button down, and boom, hit the letter. Gone. So by the time the heat comes, it's already out. That's what you got to do. So it's gonna be possible. That's the key thing. It's gonna be possible. It's just a new level of adaptation. See, and that's the problem when it comes to these games. I'm not saying you, Kool-Aid, but what I'm saying in general, when you present a new challenge, people don't truly like embracing it. Just like when we talk, all them years we talked about sim football and everything like that, realism and authenticity. A lot of people they'll bang the window for it and bang the door down for it, but they honestly aren't ready for that. A decent number of people wouldn't honestly be able to handle that. So it's like this is going to be an adjustment period. Why do you think they got rid of Vision Cone? Because people couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's to me, and that's why I can't wait to see how the reticle and all that with their lips works.
Yes.
I till this day will say that Vision Cone was the most simulation aspect to the passing game ever.
Oh yeah.
Because what did it force you to do? You literally had to go through your reads. Literally.
Yeah.
Like not just looking at the guard view. No. You had to show me the visual representation of you looking right, middle, left, in the flat. And it allows the defense to react. That's the best. This is, to me, the Vision Cone. And now how they do this one is the best way to manipulate the user. Because think about if they do it like they did it then, your opponent can see that. So now I can actually make the safety, if people that like to control the safeties and all, I can make them bite. So this opens up an opportunity of looking a guy off. Like, we'll see, man. We'll see. That's all I can say. I'm not too happy. I'm not too down.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see.
Right in the middle of the road.
Show and prove. And if it's good, we'll give it credit. If it's not, we'll talk about it. So there you have it. Well, folks, somebody said Vision Cone was not good. Okay, I mean, when we talking about that many years ago, like it's hard for me now to say it may not have been the best implementation back then. I feel like in theory though, it was the closest representation of going through reads and looking off defenders.
Yeah,
that's the closest we've ever gotten in a video game with those two working in unison. Nothing else has done that.
Think about it. The best quarterbacks in the game, especially the best pocket passing quarterbacks, are the hardest to read. Why do you think they throw so many few interceptions? That's why you look at Tom Brady at that time. Ben, I think Big Ben had a high rating too. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. That's why a guy like Joe Flacco or a Kitna or something like that, they're gonna have just the one. Who else was in there? Michael Vick. Michael Vick. Yeah, like he had that small boy, like Michael Vick too. Same deal. He had that smaller cone as well, because while he could pass, he was not this elite passer. He was like a dual threat more because he could scramble around and everything like that. But he could still drop a dime on you, but he just was not slanging it all over the field like that. So unlike the elite pocket guys.
Now that's the question, Smitty, maybe that's the answer to your question. How accuracy would factor into that. Is that reticle going to be big or small? Like, is it the same size for everybody?
That's what I said. Like the ellipse, I get it. But see, I think the reticle is just like a target circle.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you could have a tight, small circle and then put your target way over here. But they said if you can freeform throw it, you could throw it wherever you want. That kind of eliminates it. Unless you make it ratings based. Like if you say, I want to throw him to the sideline and I'm going way outside my circle, then there should be a degree of error where I'm throwing it at. Like if I wanted to go to the far left and it goes more toward the middle, then it's like, well, that's my fault because I do want it to go that way, but I'm going way outside of his range. So there should be an accuracy penalty based off of how far outside the ellipse you choose to put your target. If it's just outside, okay, I get it. But if you're going extremely out there, it's like, yeah, you got to get hit.
And I wonder, is that thing smaller? I wonder if the ellipse by any chance will replicate the vision cone in the yeah. See, they didn't say that.
So that would be tight.
Yeah,
everybody shouldn't have the same ellipse, bro. That's how you can bring personality and individuality to the game, not just for current players, but you can do that with rookies and new rookies that come in when you play franchise. Like that's how you start. That's like what Rex was trying to do with player code to a degree. It's not as spot on, but it's still in that realm because you're differentiating players in a way like this is the way it's made. And this is the guy you get. Use them how you want, but just know your guys are going to have real limits now. You can't just get, you can't just get any old QB and throw them in there. That's why I don't want that freeform reticle to just be, I can just throw it anywhere. Because then that defeats the purpose of the system. Like, what's the point of having accuracy? What's the point of having an accuracy and a power meter and having ellipses when I can just go freeform and just throw it wherever I want? Like, no, there has to be some kind of penalties involved. It's got to balance. So that's why, once again, we'll see.
We'll see.
This is why I can't wait till like June, July, whatever. That's going to be the time frame to really know about all this stuff. I mean, I'm not happy about the leak, but at the same time, I appreciate the leak because in this sense,
it gives
because it's something to think about, at least to talk about or dialogue on and be like, well, it could be, but I'm not going to be disappointed if it's something different because it wasn't meant for it to be out at this point in time anyway. So, and we ain't got no EA Play to look forward to either. So it's like, who knows when they may start dropping information. It could be next month, or they could wait until, you know, later in the summertime. I think it's going to be later on because that's when Hollywood's supposed to interview with Clinton anyways, like June, July area. So I would figure that's when they're going to put out those details. So
yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, man. I mean, this is just the beginning conversation.
Right.
It's so much more to come. So, but there it is, guys. I have got to run. Great show. Next week, we will talk about ESBC.
Yes.
Wanted to do that tonight, but I think we did need to get the Will Smith situation out the way. And of course, y'all wasn't going to allow us to not talk about the Madden news. You know, people claim they hate Madden, but I swear that's all they want you to talk about. I'm telling you, man. But all right, folks, man. Listen, I don't know what everyone celebrates, so I'll just say this: if you recognize Easter, happy Easter. If not, have a great weekend. So I hope everyone is safe. Be safe out there. God bless. Good night. And again, we definitely thank you for tuning in with us tonight, man. Hopefully we'll be back with you guys. Well, not hopefully, unless something crazy happens. We'll be back at you guys next week for some more discussion.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Be good. Peace.
Peace.